Feels like walking on eggshells in your own home, doesn't it? Every conversation with your daughter feels like a test you're doomed to fail. You ask a simple question about her day, and you're met with a one-word answer, a defensive tone, or worse, that heavy, dismissive sigh that says everything without saying anything at all. You feel the distance growing, a cold space where warmth and connection used to be. You love her, but you just don't know how to reach her anymore. But what if you could stop walking on eggshells and start building a bridge? What if the power to begin healing that fractured trust lies not in waiting for her to change, but in a series of powerful, practical steps that you can take, starting today? This isn't about a magic fix, but a proven path. In this video, we're giving you that path. A clear, step-by-step guide on how to rebuild trust with your daughter. We're drawing on the timeless wisdom of Stoic philosophy to provide a foundation of resilience and responsible action. Welcome to Mind Architect Lab, Practical Philosophy and Psychology. And it's crucial you stay with us, because many well-intentioned mothers try to fix things with an apology, but they end up using words that only make the situation worse. So make sure you watch until step 2, where we will reveal the precise anatomy of a true apology, the kind that actually opens the door to healing, instead of accidentally slamming it shut. Let's begin. Before we dive into our first step, we need a powerful mental model to understand what trust truly is. Think of trust not as a switch that's either on or off. Instead, picture it as a relational bank account you hold with your daughter. Every time you listen patiently, respect her boundaries, or show up for her consistently, you are making a deposit. Every broken promise, every dismissive comment, every time her feelings are invalidated, even unintentionally, those are withdrawals. When the account balance is high, the relationship feels secure, communication flows, and mistakes are easily forgiven. But when the account is overdrawn from too many withdrawals, you get defensiveness, distance, and that painful feeling of walking on eggshells. The account is in debt, and every interaction feels costly. Now here is where the ancient Stoics like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius provide a revolutionary perspective. They would urge us to stop obsessing over our daughter's withdrawals or the current negative balance. We can't control her feelings, her reactions, or her interpretation of the past. The only thing in our absolute control, the only domain where we have true power, is our own side of the ledger. This isn't about blame. It's about radical empowerment. You are the sole banker of your own actions. You control every single deposit you choose to make, starting right now. And our entire journey begins with this powerful shift in focus. All right. This brings us to the most difficult and most important part of this journey. Step 1 is radical ownership and deep understanding. The Stoics taught that wisdom begins with a clear-eyed assessment of what is up to us and what is not. And before we can even think about changing our actions, we must first change our perception. That means shifting the fundamental question from, why is she being so difficult, to, what is my role in this dynamic? This requires you to do something that feels counterintuitive. You must temporarily lay down your defenses. For just a little while, let go of the need to be right or to justify your past actions. Your first practical, actionable task is to conduct what we'll call a Stoic Trust Audit. This is a fearless inventory of your side of the relational bank account. Find a quiet moment, perhaps with a journal, and honestly review past interactions. The goal is not to blame yourself. I repeat, this is not about blame. It is about understanding. Let's look at some common, well-intentioned withdrawals that you may not have even realized you were making. For example, did you offer unsolicited advice when all she wanted was a listening ear? To you, it was a deposit of caring, but to her, it might have felt like a withdrawal of trust in her own ability to solve her problems. Did you ever dismiss her feelings by saying something like, "You're being too sensitive," or "It's not a big deal"? You intended to offer perspective, but she may have experienced a withdrawal message of, "My feelings are not valid or safe with you." Or maybe you compared her to someone else, hoping to motivate her, but the withdrawal she felt was, "I am not good enough as I am." The Stoic goal here is not self-flagellation, it is powerful self-awareness. So as you conduct your audit, ask yourself these questions. When have I prioritized my intention to fix things over her stated need to simply be heard? Where might I have acted as the manager of her life instead of a trusted consultant? And what specific actions, looking back, likely registered as major withdrawals from her account, no matter how good my intentions were? This honest accounting is the foundation upon which everything else is built. Once you have done the courageous work of your Stoic Trust Audit, you arrive at step 2, the anatomy of a true apology. This is where we deliver on the promise we made at the start of the video, because most apologies fail. They fail because they aren't really for the other person. They are for ourselves. We apologize to relieve our own guilt, to end an uncomfortable conversation, or to quickly move on. A Stoic, however, understands that an apology is not about feeling better. It is about being better. So let's dissect the difference between an apology that pushes her further away and one that builds a bridge. A weak, self-serving apology often includes the words if or but. For example, I'm sorry if you felt hurt by what I said. The if subtly questions the validity of her feelings. Or I'm sorry I yelled, but I was just so stressed out. The but is an excuse that erases the apology you just made. These are not apologies. They are justifications disguised as apologies. A true trust-building apology, on the other hand, has 4 ingredients. 1. It is specific about your action. 2. It validates her feeling. 3. It takes full responsibility without any excuses. And 4. It makes a commitment for the future. Let's revisit the example of giving unsolicited advice. The failed apology sounds like this. I'm sorry if it seemed like I was criticizing you. I was only trying to help. Now here is the true Stoic apology. I want to apologize. The other day, when you were telling me about work, I jumped in with solutions instead of just listening. I realize now that was dismissive of your ability to handle things, and it probably made you feel unheard and frustrated. That was my mistake, and I am truly sorry. I am going to work on being a better listener for you. Do you see the profound difference? The first one defends your intention. The second one validates her experience. The first one makes an excuse. The second one makes a commitment. Your task for this step is to look at your trust audit from step 1. Pick one specific withdrawal and practice formulating a true apology for it. You don't have to deliver it yet. Just get comfortable with how it feels to apologize for the impact of your actions, not just your intentions. A true apology, as powerful as it is only the key that opens the door. It doesn't rebuild the house. That brings us to our final and longest step. Step 3. Rebuilding with action, not words. The Roman Stoic Seneca famously said that we should let our lives be in harmony with our thoughts. After you apologize, your words become secondary. Your actions become your only valid currency. This is the long, patient work of making consistent deposits into that relational bank account we talked about. So what do these deposits look like in practice? First, it means impeccably respecting her boundaries. If she says, I don't want to talk about it right now, your response is a calm and simple, okay, I'm here for you when you're ready. And then, and this is the crucial part, you actually drop it. You don't circle back 5 minutes later. You prove with your actions that her no is respected. Second, it means practicing genuine, active listening. When she does choose to talk, you put your phone down, turn away from the TV, and give her your full attention. You listen not to form a rebuttal or to offer a solution, but simply to understand. You become a vault, a safe place for her thoughts. Third, it means being reliable in small things. If you say you'll call at 7, you call at 7. This isn't about the phone call. It's about proving that your word is your bond. Consistency in small promises builds the foundation for trust in big ones. The Stoics practiced a daily review. At the end of each day, they would reflect on their actions. This is your task now. At the end of each day, ask yourself, did my actions today align with my commitment to be a trustworthy mother? Where did I succeed in making a deposit? Where did I miss an opportunity? This isn't about perfection. It's about a consistent, conscious effort. Trust is not rebuilt in a day. It is rebuilt in 1,000 daily deliberate actions. So let's tie these 3 steps together. Step 1, the Stoic Trust Audit, is about gaining self-awareness. It's about understanding your role in the dynamic by focusing only on what you can control. Step 2, the anatomy of a true apology, is the verbal repair. It's the tool you use to acknowledge the withdrawals and open the door to reconnection. And step 3, rebuilding with action, is the proof. It's the daily, consistent work of making deposits and living in harmony with your renewed commitment. Notice the flow, from internal understanding to verbal communication to external action. It's a complete holistic process. The goal here is not to erase the past or to create a conflict-free relationship. That's impossible. The true goal is to build a relationship that is more resilient, more honest, and strong enough to handle future disagreements, with a foundation of mutual trust and respect. It's about evolving your relationship from a parent-child dynamic into a mature person-to-person connection. In the end, this entire process comes back to that core Stoic principle. Focus on what is within your power. You cannot force your daughter to trust you. You cannot undo the past. But you have absolute power right now to choose to be a trustworthy person. You have the power to be self-aware, to apologize sincerely, and to act with integrity. By focusing on your own character and your own actions, you create the conditions in which trust can, once again, begin to grow. The work is not easy, but the possibility of a renewed, authentic connection with your daughter is the most worthy pursuit there is. If you found value in this guide, please let us know. You could share in the comments below one small deposit you plan to make into your relational account this week. Your insights and commitments inspire our entire community. Liking this video also helps us understand what content is most helpful to you. And please consider subscribing to Mind Architect Lab and clicking the notification bell. You can join us for more deep dives into practical philosophy and psychology for modern life. Thank you for watching.